Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shot of Sports podcast. Grab a drink or snack. This is your weekly dose of sports, where we'll break down and do a deep dive of the world of sports. Whether you're a casual fan or a diehard, we're here to bring you the latest, the best analysis, and the hottest takes. Subscribe, share, and leave a comment. We appreciate all the feedback. Hit the like button for us and tap the notification bell on the right so you can be notified whenever we drop so you won't miss one. Today we got on the show our usual Nazir Spencer, and we got Sam on today. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Burger Man.
Gentlemen, how are we feeling?
Pretty good. How you been?
And then we're one day away. One day away.
We are.
This going to be the hardest game. I ain't gonna cap.
This is going to be the toughest game of all of them. But I was at the last time Paul Skeens was in Milwaukee, and we did win that one barely by the skin of our teeth. The Pirates made it interesting, but that was a fun game to watch. That was a historic matchup. If you remember, that was Skeens versus Mizorowski. Yep. Mm-hmm. The MLB started hyping it up, and that was really the beginning of this first ever stretch I've seen Major League Baseball giving this much attention to a small market team. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever seen Major League Baseball on their socials, on MLB Network, on things like that, ESPN even. I don't think I've ever seen the major media networks give this much attention to a small market franchise like the Brewers. Especially the Brewers, the smallest market in professional sports. I don't think I've ever seen them give this much attention.
Well, that's what happens when your team just decides to be the best team in MLB as a small market team. We don't even have that much money, man. No, not that much money. We just have a lot of heart. Bob Uecker just passed, and people just want to win. I mean, I was talking to people at work yesterday, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but Milwaukee is a baseball city. Now,
1,000,000%.
I will die on this hill. I think everyone in Milwaukee will take a World Series over an NBA title, over a Super Bowl, and over a national championship with the Badgers. I completely 100% believe that Milwaukee would rather take a World Series than any of those other championship aspects ever, because it is a base. Like, when the Brewers are good, the city is alive. There was floodings the other day, Jalen. There was floodings the other day, cars in the water, and it sold out. Do you understand how ridiculous that is?
It was a sellout by tickets, and I think they still got 35,000 people in the doors that day, which is absurd considering what Brewers Way looked like when you pull off 94 to get on Brewers Way going south. Yeah, when there's still cars submerged underwater at that point on Sunday, and there's 35,000 fans in the stadium. There's parts of the parking lot are unusable. And that's ridiculous that they're still filling this stadium. I'll tell you this, Naz. I was listening to 97.3 The Game the other day. Milwaukee's the game affiliate. I have a little bit of a tie. My uncle does the post-game shows. He's been doing them for his 20th anniversary celebration is actually coming up 2 weeks from now, I think. They're doing a special at a bar in the area. But yeah, 20th anniversary Tim Allen Bruce postgame shows. And he said this, and I kind of agree with it, that the city itself of Milwaukee might lean a little more Bucks than Brewers, but the entire state of Wisconsin and some parts of the UP of Michigan too, we got to include them in this too, but the entire state of Wisconsin would probably give up the rights to their firstborn child for a Brewers World Series. And I'm so serious. This is something that you thought the Bucks after party was fun for winning the finals. Watch what happens if and when the Brewers actually do it. Watch the entire state go into an absolute frenzy. I think we might see people like cancel work for the whole day. We might see companies just let their we might see Wisconsin have a new holiday where everyone gets a day off work. And I don't know what I would do. I might quit a job just to go to that championship parade. My boss, if you're seeing this, no, I would not quit my job for that, but I might request off work. So
dude, my coworker was telling me, like, everyone that loves this game of baseball and we get a World Series, people will genuinely take off of every single work they had possible to make one game, to make the final game especially. I mean, there's no holding back when it comes to that, bro. Like I'm trying to tell people this. I want everyone listening and watching whatever we do with this video, I want everyone to understand that we have, arguably, I think we have the best fan base in baseball right now and have had it for years. We just have not had the chance to showcase it like we have right now because we haven't had the spotlight. We haven't had the record. We haven't had this much hype around our team. But now that we're in the limelight, like we're ready, you know. Every time a homer happens, you know, Isaac Collins just showed us the other day. The entire stadium erupted. You could feel it from downtown, and you know the stadium is located in West Dallas, pretty much. I mean, you could feel that from downtown Milwaukee, which is like another 8 minutes away down the highway. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this team. Next week we got the Cubs again. We'll be heavy on that one. I know Jalen's ready for that 5 games.
There's 5 games. That's this week for the Cubs, and that series is the most important. This is your World Series to this point right now, Jalen, if you're a Cubs fan. These next probably 13 days?
Mm-hmm.
These next 13 days are the most important 13 days of your season, I'd say. Because the Brewers got the Pirates. And they're going to minimum take 2 out of 3. They might lose tonight. Who knows? Because Paul Skeens is still electric. They've got Paul Skeens. And then, obviously, like we said, next week, there's the Cubs. But they have the Reds in between, too. And I'm not entirely sold on the Reds, right? They go to Cincinnati on an off day. This Brewers team has been terrific on the road still. They have a little bit better home splits than they do road splits. But they're still a good team on the road. I see them taking minimum 2 out of 3 against the Reds. If I'm the Cubs, I have to sweep these next 2. I got to get going on a streak. You have to. You have to get as many games back as possible because if you only take 3 out of the 5 against the Brewers, you only get this many games back on them. You only get 1.
Crazy.
You win 4 out of the 5, you get. If you win 4 out of the 5, you get 3 back, which that would be the most ideal situation if I were a Cubs fan. However, this week leading up to that series, you need to go minimum 6-0. Minimum 6-0. Who do they play against tonight?
Cubs.
Yeah, no. Who's Cubs playing tonight, and then who are they playing this weekend before the Brewers?
This weekend I think we got Pittsburgh. Yeah, we got Pittsburgh.
Yeah. You start a 3-gamer against Toronto, which isn't easy by any means. But then you have that 3-game stretch against the Pirates. You are going to catch Skeens on the back end of that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You should be fine. You shouldn't be catching Skeens in that. So if you can sweep that series and take 2 out of 3 against Toronto, especially getting one night, like win tonight, especially considering the Brewers are facing Skeens, get yourself within at least 4 games going into next week. You have to. This is the most important stretch of your season. You have to do that.
And before we get into the first topic, y'all got a tough stretch too. August 15th to September 4th. We got a real
bad stretch, dude.
August 15th to September 4th. That's probably the hardest of y'all season.
Might get ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
It's gonna be something to see for sure. But as a Cubs fan, you know the Cubs would be in like first place out of 3 out of the other 6 divisions, which is insane, which is absolutely ridiculous. But we'll get into that more on Thursday. So we go jump into rookie's debut. You know, this past weekend we had Shedeur Sanders take. We had Tate, and then we had what's his name, Travis Hunter as well. They all debuted in preseason, and they all did pretty good. You know, Shedeur Sanders had 2 touchdowns, and like we said, like me and Chris was saying on the podcast before on Thursday before they played, that was going to be a big game for him to be able to shut up a lot of the noise that was going on around him, shut up a lot of the narratives and things that was going around him. And now, I know it's preseason, and we all get it. We understand. We all got to take what we can with it. But I mean, he had 108 passer rating. So
you see, with this, bro, I am so happy for him, but I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit because if I only say that because if Shedeur had a bad game, everybody would be dogging him. But now that he had a good game, everyone's saying, "Oh, it's just preseason. He didn't play against the ones." Well, I'll tell you this: he doesn't really get the chance to. The Browns I think the Browns tried to set him up a little bit for failure. They wanted him to go in there without getting any reps from the ones and play against some of the twos, in the preseason games. He was playing against 3s and 4s in practice, and he still had an amazing game. I mean, he's showing a lot of people wrong, obviously, from that one game, but I think we gotta keep watching, And I think Travis Hunter didn't really get a chance to play offense. Well, he did, but like not to the fullest extent of his ability, And those two, I have no doubt that they'll be fine. Like they're both amazing talents. But Sam, you're not very high on Shedeur, are you? Or am I missed?
No, I never was, and I don't think I am going into the season still, right? I think week 1, we're still going to see Joe Flacco take the ball for the Browns because that's his team, right? Those are his rookies in the locker room. He's leading them the way he wants to lead them. He's going to get the first couple of games of the season, at least, to try and get this Browns team off on the right foot before they figure out if Shedeur is the real deal or not, A, and B, is he capable of taking snaps with the ones yet? I don't know if he is, right? He hasn't really taken many with the ones in practice yet. He obviously didn't do much with the ones this past week, but he was a top draft prospect at one point, fellas. Are we not surprised that he performed like a top draft prospect in week 1 of the preseason?
I'm not surprised.
Nope.
I'm not surprised, but I will say he had a better debut than Jackson Dart. That's all I'll say. I mean, I think Jackson Dart will be good, but
Tyler Shuck
do a interception as Jackson Dart and Tyler.
Hey, but Tyler Shuck calmed down after that, though. He cooled off
actually,
after that.
Tyler Shuck, he actually had a pretty decent game. I will not.
He outperformed Spencer Rattler, and I'm even lower on Spencer Rattler than I am on any quarterback in the NFL. Right? He outperformed Spencer Rattler. He had a good game after that interception. 15 to 22, 165 yards and a touchdown, 86.4 passer rating. I mean, what more can you ask for from the kid?
He overshot a few times, but what do you expect? I mean, I would give his game a B-. I watched the entire game because they played the Chargers, obviously, but he threw away a couple passes and getting the team to the line to stop the clock at the field goal before the half. I think during the 2-minute warning or the 2-minute drill. So he showed a lot of good poise in that. But then he bounced back on the next drive. It was kind of a slightly underthrown pass, but it was still a touchdown pass to a receiver that was lost in our defense. So Tyler Shuck, he had a decent game, guys. I will not lie. But yeah, Spencer Rattler, he used to be so good. I don't know what happened, but
I don't even know if he ever was that good, man. I don't even think he ever was that good.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty always overrated.
In college, he was pretty.
He had the name recognition at Oklahoma.
That's what I'm saying.
Going into a season where he was supposed to start, did not start, and then he transfers out, goes to USC, that being South Carolina, not Southern Cal,
right.
But goes to USC and forgets how to play football, seemingly, right? Like that team was not that good with him, right? They're going to be good this year, though. A little tangent here. Norris Jr., real deal. South Carolina, they're opening the season. Preseason AP poll just dropped yesterday. They're opening the season at number 13. Good. Anywho, Tyler Shuck. I mean, we got to remember this dude's 26, right? He was the last NFL player ever to be drafted that was born in the 1990s, right?
That's crazy.
He was Nico Mannion's sidekick.
That's true.
That's ridiculous.
That's true.
But yeah, Shuck is the last NFL draft prospect to have been born in the 20th century, right? 1999. He was November of 99. He has a lot of playing experience coming in as a rookie. I think that's something that we're kind of taking for granted. Yes, his combine wasn't that great. He was making some questionable throws. But did you look at Caleb Williams in practice the other day? Those are some questionable throws at a net, let alone a moving target. And we don't think Caleb Williams is the 32nd best quarterback in the league.
Trey Lance can get that.
Yeah, so Trey Lance also had enough playing experience too. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but I think we have to understand that Tyler Shuff coming in had a lot of games played at the Division I level, played with a lot of these guys who are already second, third year pros in the league. He might be able to figure something out. If he ends up being the starting quarterback for the Saints, I just did a schedule prediction the other day, just on my own, and I was looking through every single game, matchup by matchup. I think I had the Saints getting the first overall pick in the draft next year. I don't think they're going to be great at all, but I think their ceiling is like 7 wins, 8 wins. I think their ceiling comes with Tyler Shuff handling the ball.
That is bold. I'm not gonna lie.
That's kind of
their ceiling. That's like best case scenario.
Ceiling is 8 games, Sam. Have you seen that roster? So. Look at their coach.
Their ceiling, their absolute ceiling.
Oh my
is 8
God.
wins.
I don't know about that, man. They're in cap hell.
Dude, right the floor and what would be acceptable right now is winning 2 games. If there's some development that happens here, I mean, the offensive skill positions aren't that bad.
Bro, the only reason they would win some games is because of Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave if he's healthy. That's the only reason they'd win games, and I still don't think that's enough. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Alvin Kamara has been carrying that team for years. I still don't know why he's on that team. Well, I know why, because he's pretty much guaranteed money for life on that team because they love him so much. But I mean, him and Olave are like the only people I can think of right now. I mean, I think they're winning. I think they're ceiling.
I had them winning 3 games, and one of them was a pity game. Right.
I think they're going to get an upset one of these games. I don't know against 2 yet, but I think they're going to get a.
That's what I'm saying.
Game. They're going to get a division.
Damn, 8 wins. That sounds like the Buccaneers. You think they got the same roster?
The Buccaneers are winning like 11, 12 games this year. Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
the Buccaneers are going to be
like
awesome.
Floor.
Their floor is 10 games. They're not 10. Their floor is 9 games. Their floor is a 9-8 record sneaking into the playoffs. I really like the Buccaneers this year.
Your boy Jordan Love's already injured, Sam.
What's the
thumb injury? He'll be back by week 1, but he's not practicing.
It's a phantom injury, dude. He got his little his reps in the preseason. Take him out. He don't need to play the rest of the preseason.
I think he does, but
maybe give him one more drive in week 3. Maybe give him one more drive.
Give him some reps. I mean, he's just not. I don't know. Whatever.
You see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase suiting up because they ain't done it in the past 2 or 3
years. They suited up.
Terrible to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, another rookie that I watched, it was pretty good. Tyler Warren, the tight end that the Bears passed on, took Loveland instead. I mean, the confidence he was having, during that game, he caught a short pass over the middle on the drive, fought for a first down, bounced off a tackler on his thigh on his second catch, and he rumbled for 23 yards down the middle on his third grab. He was a great blocker the entire game. I think that is going to end up being a very funny Bears miss, but I do think Loveland will be good. I do 100% believe that. I just don't think he was the best tight end available, especially.
How about Wester, a 6th round pick?
Ooh,
out of Colorado. He had 2. He led the team in receiving yards.
On the Bears?
On the Ravens.
On the Ravens, yeah.
DeJounte Wester, 6th round pick.
I didn't see too much about him.
2 catches, 41 yards. So think about that. 2 catches for 41 yards. So those were deep passes.
Yeah.
And he returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
I saw that, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's
I tell you, man, them boys at Colorado is insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we know this.
People was talking about them boys at Colorado.
There was a video Deion Sanders put out of all his players making insanely good plays. And
Jimmy Horn's going to be a stud.
It kind of just shows, the coaching that they had in college. Like they're just they're just ready.
But people wanted to hate on Prime so much.
Well, so they got to have somebody to hate on. They don't think he's a real coach, but look what he's done. He got all his players drafted,
and making impacts.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see what all those guys do. I'm gonna keep some tabs on them, but
Shiloh was playing well. He was undrafted.
And then Shamar Stewart, with all his controversy, I mean, yeah, I'd give him like a B- kind of game, but he was lining up at the 5 technique spot outside both tackles, which is like the outside kind of linebacker-ish. Not really, but he's more of an end.
True edge rusher.
Right.
The edge rusher lineup, yeah.
Right. And he's he was putting in some work on some veteran tackles. Matt Pryor, when he was playing against the Eagles, I mean, he was putting in some work against them a little bit, man. He was getting into the blind spots. I was taking some notes while watching these guys, man. I think it's really fun to do that. But I give him like a B- game. I don't think he really had any other significant impact besides him running towards the quarterback and making some good technique moves, which is very huge. Good reps against a veteran player, especially. So there's a lot of good rookies out there, man. I think. Oh, and I just got to rant about this for a second as well. Trey Harris on the Chargers. You're looking like Quentin Johnston right now, dropping passes left and right. I mean, I'm kind of concerned. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought Trey would be very good for us. I'm sure he will be. I'm not gonna sit here and act like preseason is the end all be all, but it is important. I think when people say preseason is not important, that's just simply wrong. I think it's very important to get these reps in. So you're allowed to make mistakes, but I need to see more, So
yeah,
get it together.
All right, so we're gonna jump into our second topic, which is fantasy football. Yep, we're gonna be like I said. Last week we're gonna do a show on each position up until basically a lot of the draft. So this week, right now, we got wide receivers. On Thursday, I believe we got quarterbacks. I think next Tuesday we got tight ends, and I think next Thursday we got defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So today we got fantasy wide receivers. So who's the go-to wide receivers? Who are the obviously the locks, and who are going to be the guys that you get and could make impacts.
I'll start here. When you're
obviously Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Neighbors and Lamb, they're going to be automatically. But who are the others?
I want people to really pay attention. If you have the first overall pick in any league of yours, just understand this. It is the worst pick that you're going to get. So I need you to understand. I need you to understand. Getting a wide receiver, a reliable wide receiver right off the bat. I know Saquon's going to look beautiful, but he has the fantasy curse at this point because he's going to be number one everywhere. Okay, take Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. I would take Jamar Chase if I was first overall pick in any league. I would take Jamar Chase because that is the most reliable pick you're going to have. I think that's a perfect number one overall pick. Now, when it comes to other wide receivers, down the line, I think Terry McLaurin is still going to be good wherever he ends up going. I think he's going to end up staying, but I think Terry McLaurin's a good one. Zay Flowers, I need you to understand he's about to have an amazing year. He's torching people in practice right now. I know that's not a lot to say because it's not real life, real game, but he's putting in 100% of the work in practice. I think Zay Flowers is going to be disgusting this year. George Pickens. Listen, I know CeeDee Lamb's going to be great. We all know that. But George Pickens is going to have a sleeper 1,000-yard season year. I guarantee.
Didn't I tell you on what was that the last show last week that was going to be one of my players?
Bro, if Dak stays healthy,
yep.
Like Dak's not a bad quarterback. He's just very inconsistent. Okay, he can get the ball to George Pickens. I truly believe it. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is my last one. I need you to understand what is going on over there in Arizona. Yes, Kyler Murray is shitting the bed recently. I don't know why. I love him to death, but come on, man. Let's stop throwing the ball directly to the defenders, okay? Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a great year. He's huge now. He's faster. I mean, he was so highly recommended last year for a reason. Take a chance on him this year. But those are the wide receivers I really wanted to get into, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's a great one, but also kind of inconsistent. I haven't really seen. I had him last year. I didn't really see much of an improvement from him. But take those. You got what I say: McLaurin, Zay Flowers, George Pickens, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith-Njigba. Those are mine. Those are my 5.
I like a little bit of. Just a little biased because I had him last year and I'm eyeing him this year a little bit. But Ladd McConkey.
Oh yeah, I thought his fantasy would drop a little bit because Keenan, but
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I
Because
don't think
Keenan
it'll
gonna draw some attention.
Yeah,
Because now he's back
sure.
with Herbert. McConkey's gonna have another fantastic and stellar season. He's gonna go off again. If not, he's gonna probably do more from the jump than he did. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. From the jump, especially
like week 5, I think he started to go off.
Yeah, he started off week three against the Steelers.
Yeah, something like that. I had grabbed him, I think, in like week 2, and I'm like, this might be a good, flex player. So I had him, and nice. I didn't start him week 3. He torched, and I was like, okay, let me just. And that ended up getting me to the fantasy championship. I lost, but that's neither here nor there. I know a good one to look for. Nico Collins. He's gonna come back and have another season. He's gonna. I mean, I think he's gonna be decent this year because
he was good last year. It's just
he was there last year, but he was kind of like I wasn't gonna say he's overshadowed by Stephon Diggs, but he had another ball hawk or another I wouldn't say diva, but kind of another guy that just I want the ball, I need the ball. That's why he kind of didn't work out in Buffalo, but. Another one that's gonna probably be decent. I was looking at T. Higgins, but T. Higgins is always valuable. But I'm looking at Drake London.
Really?
I've seen how he looked at the end of the season with Michael Penix, and Michael Penix can throw the ball.
He's good, man.
He can really spiral the ball. He can really throw that ball. And Drake London being a number 1 option over there might actually be somebody you look at. I'm not saying take him over Lamb or Amon-Ra or Puka or Neighbors or the best wide receivers in the game. But when it comes down to like when you're in the draft in like week 5, like not week 5, when you're in like the round 6 or something, 5, and you need some flex player or something, Drake London could be there depending on how many running backs are taken, because we was talking about Genty and Hunter and stuff, which I think that might be another solid pick as well. And then my last one, obviously I just said Hunter, but I wasn't high on him last year, but Courtland Sutton, Bo Nix can throw the ball. He's proven that he can throw the ball pretty well, and I've had him for about 2.5 years, but I didn't have him last year, but I had him 2 years prior. And I got some good production out of him when he didn't really have a quarterback. Now that he has a quarterback who can really sling the ball and throw the ball and really focuses on passing, because Sean Payton is going to turn him into the next coming of Drew Brees, it seems like. Courtland Sutton might be that option that you look for as a wide receiver. That could be a good flex option. So go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, so there's a few guys in like different sections of the draft, like you just were talking about with yours, that I would buy and sell against. So early rounds, like first, second round, I think I'm buying Amon-Ra St. Brown for sure. I think that's out of the top 10 receivers ranked according to ESPN, that's my most reliable, right? Other than Jamar Chase, right? If you get the first overall pick, you're taking Jamar Chase. Honestly, this year, I think it would be slightly disrespectful to say that I would rather take Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase. Jefferson's still the better route runner in my eyes, but Jamar is the one cut, make a big play, comes down with the ball. It's not crazy to say no, because it is a 1A, 1B situation. But that's just my personal take on it, is that if I had the first overall pick, I'm leaning Chase over Jefferson, because you got to look at who's throwing them the ball too. And you guys remember me from a couple of years ago saying I think J.J. McCarthy is still going to end up being the best quarterback out of that class, but he also hasn't played professional football yet. So we got to see what he's got first, right? But his game manager quarterback, he's going to, statistically speaking, he's going to be good this year, I think. However, I'm leaning a lot more like Joe Burrow. I'm leaning a lot more towards Joe Burrow's abilities to get the ball to Jamar Chase. Anywho, we're going off on a tangent here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, regardless of the coordinator situation in Detroit, he has shown to me everything except unreliability, right? He's the most reliable receiver in the top 10. Jared Goff still throwing the ball, an offense that's just a juggernaut. They were one of the best offenses in football last year. We'll see what they look like this season. However, if I want a wide receiver 1 on my team that I know can put up minimum 15 points every single week, minimum, I'm going Amon-Ra St. Brown because more than likely he's going to put up close to 20 every single week. That's an easy 20 points in my lineup, 1 point PPR, right? If I'm looking first round, especially late first round, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I'm selling early on, I'm selling Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Stafford is banged up again already. He hasn't played. He hasn't practiced yet.
They got Devontae who's still smoking.
And they had Davante Adams. So I think Davante Adams is a step above Cooper Kupp at their stages of their career right now, right? You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, at this very moment, I think the Rams are better off with Davante than they are with Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And Puka being wide receiver 1, we haven't seen him draw those matchups quite yet. He has a little bit.
He has a little bit.
A little. Especially when Kupp was down.
He couldn't even get open last year, really, I guess. But
especially when Kupp was down. But Davante Adams is a different animal at the receiver position. I think, especially with Adams playing the 2 reps and getting some slot reps, we're going to see Davante Adams take a big step up in production this year compared to how he looked on the Jets. I'm sleeping on Puka Nacua. If I'm early in the first round, I'm staying away from Puka Nacua. If I'm back into the first, early second, yeah, taking the guy. But early first round, he's currently ranked at 4. I will not be taking Puka Nacua early in my drafts this year. Mid rounds here, I'm buying 2 guys. I'm buying DK Metcalf and I'm buying Xavier Worthy. DK Metcalf now in Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. This is easily the best quarterback he's had throwing the football in his career. I think he's poised to take a massive leap forward in production. I wouldn't be surprised if DK Metcalf finishes the year at least bar minimum in the top 10 of fantasy wide receivers this year in terms of overall points. Xavier Worthy, same way. Rashee Rice is going to play this year. We know that. However, Xavier Worthy is the textbook definition of explosive receiver. That's what Patrick Mahomes loves. He's not really had, since Tyreek Hill, a reliable deep threat at the receiver position. Xavier Worthy is the jack of all trades. He does all the things with receiver handoffs, with jet sweeps, with little like round the world runs like that in the backfield. But he also has the deep threat. Mahomes' best deep threat receiver since Tyreek Hill was MVS for that half season or however long he was a Chief. And Mecole Hardman was there too. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but Mecole Hardman was a glorified return man. So Xavier Worthy, I'm buying heavy on this year. I'm going to sell on Jerry Jeudy, and I'm going to sell on Calvin Ridley. I don't know what Cam Ward's going to look like when he's facing ones, right? This is the least hyped up first overall pick, especially at quarterback, that we have seen in a long time. I can't remember a quarterback that didn't get this little attention or this little praise for his abilities. However, maybe there's a reason for that, right? So I'm going to sleep on Calvin Ridley. I'm going to sell Calvin Ridley, and I'm going to sell Jerry Jeudy too until further notice.
Oh yeah, he's always a bad pick, dude. I don't know what it is, but he's just not good in fantasy.
I'm going to sell him until further notice. Late round receivers. If I'm going late round, I'm thinking Josh Downs. I'm thinking Darnell Mooney. I'm thinking those are the guys that I would look to take. Darnell Mooney had a good season last year. Stop that.
Hold on. No, not you, Sam. He said Jerry Jeudy is the best route runner in the NFL. Okay. We gotta stop. He's not even top 5. He's not even. Come on, man.
That is a stinky take. I'm looking at Darnell Mooney. I'm looking at Josh Downs. Those are the guys I'm thinking late rounds, especially as like a flex option. Those are the guys I'm looking at, or like the first option off the bench. I also like Marvin Mims to take a step forward this year. I also really like it. Guy I'm selling late. I think I'm selling Keenan Allen, dude. I hate to be the guy. I hate to be the guy that says it, but I think I'm selling. It depends on what his role looks like this year, and it depends on what the Chargers offense. I mean, Rashawn Slater's out the whole season now. It depends on what that offensive front looks like. If they can protect Justin Herbert long enough to make a read and make multiple reads at that, I think Keenan Allen will be okay. After last season, where we saw the age, we saw Father Time start to take down Keenan Allen.
We saw the Bears. We didn't see Father Time do anything. Keenan Allen was still the number 1 receiver at most points of that season.
I'm sleeping on Keenan Allen until further notice. I will be selling Keenan Allen stock. If I'm late, and It depends on the pick. If
One thing
it's like
about-
round 12, round 13, and he's there, yes. But if it's round 7, 8, 9, I'm not even thinking
You
about
have to
Keenan Allen
understand,
at
if
that
he was
point.
on the Chargers, he would have had the craziest season of his career compared to the year before that, which was his career best. He would have had a way better season last year on the Chargers than he did on the Bears last year. So that was just bad representation of a year for him, bro. I think
one thing about Keenan Allen is that he's going to have production, especially with Justin Herbert. Because
oh my god, especially
Justin Herbert, when I was winning my fantasy championships, when I was on a three-peat, I had Keenan Allen, I think, twice.
Come on, man.
Because his production with Justin Herbert gets him the ball.
Because he's always open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
And now that he has a Ladd McConkey over there in the slot too, that might be. I think he's going to be a prop. Now, when we talk about QBs on Thursday, he's going to be up there with some of the best, I think, this season. But
I would still be shaky with Herbert in fantasy.
Well, fantasy wise,
with his
numbers, fantasy wise,
he hasn't been good in fantasy for like 2 years because Harbaugh is his coach now. And,
well, yeah, because where's Keenan Allen gone? When Keenan Allen is with Herbert, Herbert has a great season, and Keenan Allen is like one of the top wide receivers in fantasy football when you look at it. But when you look at
I hope I'm
Ladd
wrong.
McConkey being open, him in the slot all day long. I mean, what can you say about Keenan Allen? Like, he gets production with Herbert, rather.
It'll be interesting to see.
You know, he's trolling. He says this to me all the time. He's taking Geno over Herbert right now as a quarterback.
Oh, like
crazy.
In general?
Yeah, he tries to be funny. But Mike Evans, I think I'm gonna sell on this year. I'm not gonna lie. Fantasy wise, I think he's gonna be
age is a factor.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be consistent. He's a sleeper pick. If you want to like late round, if he falls, take him. But do not take him early rounds. I promise.
He's gonna be more mid.
Yeah, what are y'all sleeper picks? Go ahead and say that. What are the sleeper picks?
My sleeper picks. Oof. I think Tyreek Hill is very slept on right now. I don't know why no one's talking about Tyreek Hill anymore. I know Tua's his quarterback, but when Tua's on the field, the Dolphins are a top 12 offense at least. Another sleeper pick is DK Metcalf. No one's talking about that. I know Aaron Rodgers is a ghost of himself right now, but we can't forget the talent that DK Metcalf has. Garrett Wilson, another sleeper pick. I don't know. No one's talking about Garrett Wilson because Justin Fields is his quarterback, which is very sad to say. I think Trey Lance would be a very, very good fit over there in New York. I think we said Malik Neighbors, but we don't know who's throwing in the ball. I know Russ will probably for the first 3 weeks, but we don't know what's going to happen after week 3 or 4.
My sleeper pick would be
do not pick Jalen Waddle. Do not do it.
No, I'm not picking Jalen Waddle. I'm thinking more of somebody like Cooper Kupp.
No, do not pick Cooper Kupp.
I'd stay away.
I'd stay away. Cooper Kupp. That is a
right pick is at the right spot in the draft is one thing, but his rank right now being wide receiver 43.
Yeah, that was my ESPN. That was about to be my other one.
Do you guys remember my crazy team I had last year with Cooper Kupp on it? He was like my third, fourth wide receiver somehow because he would put up donuts every game. I mean, okay, yeah, this is true. Mike Evans, yeah, he might regress a little bit. DJ Moore, no. No, I'm not going. No, sir. I'm not.
I mean, he had good fantasy production last year, but I wouldn't call him a sleeper. I mean, he did what he was supposed to last year. He had about 800 yards.
Yeah, he had a decent stretch. He had a decent stretch.
So that's what I'm saying. He did what he was supposed to. I wouldn't say he was a sleeper though.
I just think it's a regular pick. I just think you have to pick him in the 5th round if he's there, 5th, 4th round.
My sleeper guys, first name I was going to say was Emeka Egbuka, and for the same reason that Chris just said, Mike Evans, father time is coming, right? It's only a matter of time before Evans hits the production wall and just becomes, I wouldn't say obsolete in the Buccaneers offense, but he will just be a traffic cone at some point in the near future. I don't think this year, but the signs might start this year. The signs might start.
They started a little bit last year.
They have 4 very talented wide receivers as of this moment with Evans, Chris Godwin, Igbuka, and Jalen McMillan. But I'm leaning Igbuka being that wide receiver 3. Baker Mayfield likes trying to create plays. I think Emeka Igbuka is going to benefit from that and benefit from the Buccaneers having a top 5 offense in football. I think that's a good sleeper pick. If he's available, let's say 8th round, 9th round, he's there. That's yours. You better take him. Do not skip out on taking Emeka Igbuka because this is going to finally be the year that Jerry Jeudy's wide receiver 1, or this is finally going to be the year that AJ Dillon breaks out, right? Like that. Don't do that, right? Take Igbuka if he's there. Another guy too. Where's all the Tet conversation? Why are we not speaking about Ted McMillan? No. And the Panthers are another team where I think their ceiling is about 8-9 wins.
I can't believe I missed that one. He's my favorite of the draft right now.
I think the Panthers are another team where their ceiling is like 8-9 wins, and I think they're more likely to hit their ceiling than most other teams in football this year. I really do. We finally saw Bryce Young take his first steps forward last year in an offense that suited him and his needs. They went out and tried to improve that offensive line a little bit. They brought in another receiver, Hunter Renfrow, who has looked phenomenal in camp. If you've looked at some of his camp highlights, Hunter Renfrow looks like he never left the NFL.
He shouldn't have left,
right?
In the first place.
So they added another guy like Renfrow with Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette on the outside, and now Tet McMillan. Tet McMillan is going to be able to take some of the interest is going to be drawn away from him because of how productive Adam Thielen has been the last couple of seasons with the Panthers, A, and B, Xavier Legette is a very good one-cut receiver off the outside. Bryce Young likes throwing to him. However, Tet McMillan is the most talented receiver on that team. I like Bryce Young's throwing abilities right now. I like his ability to read defenses. He's taking those steps forward. Tet McMillan should finish. Right now he's ranked at 32, according to ESPN. He should finish in the top 15 this year. That's a guy who, if I'm looking 5th, 6th round, and he's there, and I need receiver or flex, Tet McMillan is the guy I'm going with.
Real quick. I know we haven't talked about the Eagles, but the reason is last year they did not do very much production because Jalen Hurts did not throw them the ball very much. So I would still take A.J. Brown early second round maybe.
Devonta Smith like 4th, 5th round probably.
I would. If my opinion, shy away a little bit because they have a crazy run game. Obviously, have the best running back in the league. Not even close right now. So, kind of just gotta be smart with this. Okay, they sat Saquon the last game of the season because for a reason. They wanted to break the record, but okay, he's the best player on that team. He's the reason that offense is so well functioned. I'm trying to tell you, just shy away a little bit. I know it's going to look very tempting to take A.J. Brown 1st round, Devontae Smith 3rd or 2nd round. But shy away a little bit because I don't think their production is going to be as high as people think. Okay, I know we love Jalen Hurts. Let's be real here. It's just shy away from it. Okay, just trust me.
All right, so we're going to jump into the last topic of the day, which is 2026 NFL Hall of Fame candidates. So I believe it was Fox who dropped their 2024 Hall of Fame candidates. So as we look at first look, what do we believe who gets in 3, I believe?
Well, not always, but that's more often than not. And there's other guys too. You got to remember, there's still other candidates. This is just the
top ones.
The first. Yeah, these are the top available guys and like the first balloters.
And then we got the notable ones down there: Todd Gurley, Thomas Davis, Alex Smith, Mike Iupati, and then Jarrell Casey.
Well, none of those guys are making it. No disrespect to Todd Gurley. No disrespect. Mike Iupati, no disrespect to them. They're not making it. I think the only 2 guys out of this first year eligible guys are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald.
Whoa. Hold on. Luke Kuechly's up there. I think Phillip Rivers is a damn near lock. I think he's pretty.
I think he could be based off name value, longevity, and just being a solid
his
quarterback
stats
year in and year
better.
out.
He was the best quarterback in the league at one point.
I just don't think he's a lock, like Drew Brees.
But the best far and away, like the true locks right now, are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, those two
what do you mean?
The Julian two best far and away in this class.
Julian Edelman, he's a lock.
No, they're not locks. The guys that would put on the gold jackets today are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. The guys that are up for debate,
I'm not disagreeing with that, but you're saying
are Jason Witten, Julian Edelman, Des Bryant. The guys that have or Phillip Rivers in that conversation too. The guys that have an outside shot would be Marquise Pouncey and Frank Gore. But the locks right now, the guys that will put on the gold jacket tonight, if a vote happened today, are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying Julian Edelman is not a lock.
No, I just can't. He's not a lock.
Bro. He's not a lock, and I think part of the reason why he's not a lock is because of the. Yeah, it's not, but at the same time, part of the reason why I would say he's not a lock is because of the steroid thing that was going on with him. The conversation around PEDs. He had that suspension. I mean, you look at what they do in baseball, how they blacklist those guys. It's very rare to see PED suspensions in football, but Edelman was doing it and didn't fight it. He didn't even fight it. He said, "You know what? I did it. That's my fault. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to be better from it." Took a 4-game suspension. I think that's in that situation right there. As an NFL Hall of Fame voter, you have to ask yourself, other professional sports do not let cheaters into their Hall of Fame. Why would we do the same here? Why would we do the same here? You also have to look at who's throwing him the football.
What?
I don't know if Julian Edelman produces at the same level if Tom Brady is not his quarterback. I don't know if he does. I don't know if I can confidently say he would. I think he was a product of the system in a way. He's still a talented receiver, but I think he's no more than just a Cooper Kupp if Tom Brady isn't throwing him the football.
So with that logic, do you think Des Bryant is above him since Tony Romo was his quarterback majority of his career?
I think Des Bryant was just a far and away more talented wide receiver than Julian Edelman. I don't think it really matters who was throwing him the football. I just think Des Bryant was the better receiver between the two.
So that's what I'm saying. So you would take Des Bryant in the Hall of Fame over Julian Edelman?
I would.
Today, yes. But
not even close. No way. I disagree with that.
When you look at Julian Edelman, I don't think he was he the number one. He wasn't even the number one option.
Super Bowl MVP. What are we talking about?
He was the number
one game you show out of does not make you the number one option.
But it was also the Super Bowl. Like, let's be for real. Like, that
whole season
is impressive. However, like I said,
so Rob Gronkowski
was it a matter of did he just get caught?
Wide receiver wise, Julian Edelman.
I'm talking about like passing, catching wise. It don't matter, like, because
in the playoffs, Julian Edelman was more of a factor than Gronk.
Julian Edelman, you got to think about it this way. Yeah, Super Bowl MVP. Yes, I'm not going to deny that. However, like I said with the steroid suspension in 2018, was he just starting to do it that year? Or was that when he got caught? That's the question. That's why Baseball Hall of Fame voters do not let Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens or insert other steroid username here in the Hall of Fame. They don't let that happen because they don't have a definitive date on when these guys started doing this stuff. Barry Bonds supposedly didn't start using steroids until 2000, right? Until the turn of the century, that's when he started using it. Beforehand, he would have still had 450 home runs, a career OPS above 900. He would have still probably been a Hall of Famer. However, that's just hearsay. We don't know if that's true. We don't know. We don't know when Julian Edelman started doing PEDs. We have no fair way to say, oh, he started doing it this week in 2018, or, oh, he did it a little bit in college, and it was just here and there treatments for injuries. We don't know anything about that other than he took performance-enhancing drugs. Maybe he was on the stuff. Maybe he was juicing in the Super Bowl. We don't know that. I'm not saying Julian Edelman was a bad wide receiver. I'm not saying he was bad.
No.
I think peak Julian Edelman right now in today's game would still be in the conversation for minimum top 15 wide receiver in the game. Minimum.
He was
absolute
top
minimum
10 wide receiver every year.
But look who was throwing in the ball, and look what he was doing on the field.
That's not a good rebuttal, bro. I just don't agree with that. Yes, Tom Brady was throwing him the ball. Does that mean Gronk is the sole reason that Tom Brady that he's in the Hall of Fame, that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame because of Tom Brady? No,
because Gronk was a terrific tight end.
And Julian Edelman was a terrific wide receiver.
There's levels to this. An undersized, glorified slot wide receiver was made better because of the quarterback throwing him the football.
No,
was made better because of the quarterback throwing the football.
Because of his ability,
like I said, I don't think he's more than prime Cooper Kupp, and prime Cooper Kupp's not a Hall of Famer.
Why not?
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer by any means.
Super Bowl winner. He's a Super Bowl
I don't think
MVP
Kupp's a Hall of Famer.
Was he not a Super Bowl MVP? Cooper Kupp?
No.
Or was it Matthew Stafford?
MVP? Pretty sure it was Stafford that year.
Okay. Well, he won the Triple Crown that year, I'm pretty sure, and they won a ring. I mean, that doesn't get better than that. But I don't understand the Julian Edelman hate right now. This is crazy to me.
No, I ain't hating him. I just believe
I would never take Des Bryant over Julian Edelman. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
It's not hate towards Edelman. It's
you're saying
it's understanding the way in which voters vote.
I understand what you're saying, but if we're talking about Hall of Fame talent, Julian Edelman is a lock right now. I 100% believe that.
Cannot agree with that.
I'm not saying he's on Larry Fitzgerald level. He's not. It's not even close. But if we're talking about the production he had throughout his career, yes, Tom Brady's his quarterback. I don't think that even matters because he was able to get open the most. I mean, Tom Brady's not getting him open. He's getting himself open. He's catching the balls. He's catching those contested passes. He's catching literal death balls. Tom Brady threw death balls to this guy, and he caught every single one of them almost. Come on, man. Yes, exactly.
Dez caught the ball. Dez did catch the ball. Stop it.
With your logic, he didn't catch the ball.
Okay. Nah, he caught that ball.
Yeah,
1,000,000%. I'm a Packers fan, and he 1,000,000% caught that ball.
Yeah, he caught it. He caught it in hindsight. In the moment, he didn't catch it. He didn't catch it with both his hands. He put it on his shoulder instead. Julian Edelman caught it. He caught every pass.
That was an impressive
craziest pass.
2016.
He caught the craziest pass. Should have won Super Bowl MVP that year, but he didn't. He won it against the Rams.
I don't know why, because he was a lot
in the most boring Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah, the most boring Super Bowl of all time. But he was destroying that generational defense that everyone was talking about. He was torching them left and right. He was the only factor. Not even Tom Brady was a factor that game. I'm trying.
I think in a weaker Hall of Fame class we can call him a lock. I think it's And no way am I saying he's not going to make the Hall of Fame.
One. This isn't a very strong. No, this isn't strong at all.
He's not a lock.
Who else is a lock besides?
It's just those two.
No, it's just those two that are locked.
It's just those two.
I know. I'm saying though, if you were to pick anyone else on this list besides the obvious locks, who else is a lock over Julian Edelman?
Probably Jason Witten. Probably.
I don't know about
maybe Phillip Rivers.
No one else. Maybe Phillip Rivers.
I think
it's one of those two.
I don't know about Jason Witten.
But as a first, this is their first time getting in. So a first ballot Hall of Famer is someone like Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees. Those are the two locks of this. Now I'm not saying he won't get in. I'm not saying that he doesn't.
His first ballot.
But when you first look at this, it is Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees 1,000%.
Bro, I'm not arguing that. We already know that. I know Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are miles
away. So they only have so many spots that they can get.
And Julian Edelman deserves that third spot.
Already in there.
My point is Julian Edelman deserves that third spot. Phillip Rivers, arguably. Okay. I think him and Phillip Rivers and Julian Edelman are right there with each other for the third spot. I don't think anyone else on this list really gets that spot besides maybe Jason Witten. I don't know about it, but maybe. But I'm not arguing that. I don't know why you guys keep bringing that up. Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald, yes, we all can agree that they're locked. The third spot absolutely goes to Julian Edelman or Phillip Rivers. I wouldn't be mad either way for first ballot. I'm not taking
those
Des
are the
Bryant
two I
over Joe
got.
Edom.
I think non-first ballot, the only real lock I have is Luke Kuechly in terms of non-first ballot guys.
And
But this is going to be a small class this year. It's going to be a small Hall of Fame class this upcoming year. It's going to be those two dudes in the top left. It's probably going to be Luke Kuechly, and it's probably going to be it. And then next year we'll have probably 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. But this year's Hall of Fame class is going to be slim.
Yeah, true. So we're going to leave that there, and we're going to jump into our final thoughts.
Time to go flip some burgers. Got to go work my 9 to 5. But let's see. I think in my final thoughts here is that the NFC North is once again going to be the best division in professional football. It's going to be fun to watch. All 4 teams have playoff aspirations, and there's a world in which all 4 of them can make it simultaneously. Going to be a fun season if you're a fan of an NFC North team.
I've been seeing a lot of talk on the Chargers now that Slayer's out. People are putting us last in the division, which I think is blasphemy. People are taking the Broncos to win the division. Still don't understand what
blasphemy.
I don't understand where this hype is coming from.
I don't know who said that, and I'm a Broncos fan.
Everybody's saying, bro, look online. Broncos winning the West, AFC West. Broncos this, Broncos. Where is this coming from?
Bro, last time I see the Chiefs still exist.
Bro, First
Patrick
of all,
Mahomes still exists. Bro.
First of all, Patrick Mahomes is not losing to the Broncos twice. I'm not going for that. Okay, he
ain't losing to no team twice.
We beat the Broncos twice last year. First of all, the Broncos put up a better fight against the Chiefs than the Chargers. I mean, where is this hype coming from? Just because they have Sean Payton and a better defense? They had a great defense last year. We had a better one.
They feel like Bo Nix is going to take another step this season, and I believe he will.
He will,
I just don't think he's going to leap Patrick
be,
Mahomes.
Broncos will be very Bengals-esque last year. They will lose a lot of close games because of Bo Nix coming up short. Not saying that Joe Burrow came up short, because he obviously didn't, but the defense came up short last year for him. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think the offense is going to come up short in some of these games because Bo Nix, he's still young, still figuring it out. We have to understand that he's a second-year player. He is not a seasoned veteran. Okay, people thought that he should have won Rookie of the Year last year. In what way would he have won that? There's no way he would have won that over Jayden Daniels. It's not happening. So I understand. People want the Broncos to be good just because Bo Nix has put on a great season and they think he deserved Rookie of the Year. I'm not going for that, bro. They're going to be third in the division again. And I'm not going to lie. The Raiders might be pretty damn good on offense this year. They have 2 high-class offensive players, Genty and Brock Bowers. So maybe they got a better O-line. Geno Smith is a laser. I mean, I'm not going to sleep on them. They also have Jacoby Myers, who's another sleeper pick that I just forgot about. I just remembered. Jacoby Myers is a very good pick if you want to pick him up in fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll leave it at that. We got to slow down this Broncos talk. I don't understand it. I like the Broncos, though. They're my favorite team other than Chargers in the AFC West.
Thought would be.
But yeah, that's my thought. I think just slow down.
My final thought would be Cubs are in a free fall. They are playing 500 baseball right now, which is not bad because at some point everybody's going to have a down spell in the season. But they got to get it turned around before September, though. Not saying they're not going to make the playoffs because obviously they're probably an 80% chance of getting in. But they better start playing better. I ain't going to lie. I mean, the division is at stake next week for sure. If you are a Cubs fan, you obviously know how important these 5 games are. The Cubs would need to take 4 in order for them to actually say that, there's a real chance that they can come back and win. No, there's a chance that they have to win at least 4. If they win 3, then that's fine. It's the consolation prize and cool. They win the series. But they need to strive to win 4 of those games if they want any prayer at getting a bye in the division. I mean, getting a bye. So, well, with that, we come to the end of the show. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Follow our podcast page on other platforms. The links are in the description box below. We do have a Spotify. If you're on the Spotify, come on over to the YouTube side and watch us live. We do have Instagram and TikTok. We will be posting shorts and reels of this show, polls, question boxes. You can always DM us some things you'd like to have answered or questions you may have. And with that, we'll see you on Thursday.